Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. From RedState.com. Trans activist who got shut down by a Delta employee over misgendering is identified, and oh boy. Let's first look at the video that came out concerning this so-called incident. The gentleman you see there with the beard is the Delta employee. So let's listen to this narcissist talk about it.
Genders you intentionally.
Sorry, while he's talking, you're talking.
You just misgendered me again.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Gotcha.
Both of you have.
Sorry.
Wasn't intentional, but if you want to take it personal, that's also.
Well, she did do it intentionally
Gotcha.
twice.
You're
I did
talking
not
to
do
me
it
too.
intentionally.
You said she and then you said he.
You're being condescending, and if you want to continue, I have full authority to escort you out the building right this moment. If you want to play that game with me.
Okay.
Would you like to continue 3 days before Christmas? I really don't mind.
I'm good. I'll just put this on.
Yeah, when you confront bullies, that's what happens. Narcissists and bullies. Good for you, young man. I gotta give this Delta employee a round of applause. Now, so far, Delta hasn't made a comment if there's any disciplinary action, but if they were smart, they would let it go. Let's read the story. I'd like to say I'm surprised this is an opinion piece, but I'm not surprised at all, and you won't be either. The transgender individual tried to accuse a Delta employee of misgendering him. His now viral video has been identified as trans activist and quote-unquote influencer Tommy Dorfman. The absurdity doesn't stop here either. As Red State reported, the previous unidentified man confronted a Delta Airlines gate agent, claiming he was purposely misgendered multiple times. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get the sound effects for that. There goes his life. After a beef back and forth between the two, the gate agent threatened to have him escorted out of the building with a make my day style threat about being 3 days before Christmas. Dorfman quickly backed down, realizing he would end up not getting on a flight as he continued his snarky crusade. And of course, you just saw the video. This is the correct way to deal with these narcissists who demand we give in to their delusions. It's all just a power trip for them. I'd say that's true. Now, I've got some insight a little bit on the transgender issue. When I had my convenience store for 22 years in upstate New York on a very low-income section of town, there was a transgender individual that came into my store that went by Rachel. Extremely intelligent, extremely educated, but obviously had some issues. And Rachel and I, he went by Rachel, had some very long philosophical discussions. And believe it or not, Rachel was fairly conservative. Has since passed away of cancer, but I don't own my store anymore. But we talked a lot because I was a local city councilman at the time, and Rachel was a big supporter of mine. And it was some insight. And the thing that I got back more than anything, Rachel was not confrontational, was not an activist like these two morons. Rachel had some issues, obviously, and I felt extremely bad, and I wish I could have helped that individual out, but I really couldn't. And Rachel ended up dying of cancer a few years later, but the discussions we had were very intelligent. And the one thing that Rachel impressed upon me was when I was a councilman, some LGBTQ plus activists came down to the city council meeting during public comment about a piece of legislation about, safeguarding LGBTQ rights and all that. And they wanted all this special treatment. And we represent the trans and gay community and blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, you shouldn't have special treatment for anybody. You go against or hurt somebody, you should have the law come after you. Whether you're a trans person or not is immaterial. You still assaulted somebody. And the next day, Rachel came down to the store because the council meetings were televised. And first Rachel said to me, "Good for you." And second of all, Rachel said, "Who in the F elected those people to represent me?" And there you have it. I have no problem with L, G, and B. And they've had representation at every level of government, media, entertainment. I have no problem. It's the rest that's the problem. It's amazing to me. As Rachel said, I must have missed that vote because who the hell elected you to represent me? And that's where the narcissism comes in. So I got a lot of insight on how trans people think, but this one is intelligent and rational, so maybe it doesn't apply to these morons. Let's read on. You read that correctly. This trans activist has a podcast and recently hosted Dylan Mulvaney. No. I mean, the one that went to the major university a couple weeks ago and it showed the picture where there were literally 20 people there and the whole auditorium was empty. Another trans influencer was infamous for helping destroy Bud Light as a brand with his disturbing girlhood antics. Oh, you misgendered. Are you starting to understand how this is all one big grift yet? I could go into a lot of that, but unfortunately, this subject is forbidden on this website, so I can't say what I really think. Dorfman, who is also an actor, who once appeared in a Netflix film and a post on Instagram, he accused the Delta employees of transphobia, describing their misgendering as a human rights violation. When you try to advocate for yourself at Delta and are met with even more transphobic and threats of being arrested at LaGuardia, Dorfman said in the post, which included the video a part of the incident. Tristan, the employee, said he was fine with me posting this. Didn't realize it was condescending to flag a human rights violation after another employee misgendered me incessantly. Oh gosh, what am I going to do now? Of note is that Dorfman was not actually misgendered. Further, he is a self-identified transgender individual who looks and sounds like a man while also retaining the male name Tommy. It is unworkable to expect employees of an airline who deal with thousands of customers a day to magically know what pronouns the male-presenting transgender person prefers. Yeah, why don't you just tattoo it on your forehead? I shouldn't say that. Some actually have. It should not be up to normal people in polite society to have it affirm the irrational demands of someone who's just looking for attention and clout. As a Christian, my heart goes out to these people. Maybe not their actions as a narcissist, but the grifters do it because they make money. Well, we'll put that aside for a minute. The rest of the people that consider themselves trans, my heart goes out to them. I really do, because that's a tough road to hoe. And we all know they have issues. And they can't go into detail, like I said, because this website won't allow it. It's going to be very interesting to see how Delta Airlines responds. Given the company's culture, you'd expect the employees to be disciplined. Though those in the airline industry do enjoy broad protections in dealing with customers, given the stakes they are dealing with. I would highly advise Delta Airlines not to take action here. Doing so will only invite a much larger backlash that whatever Dorfman has produced with his limited influence. People are watching, and they want to do business with companies that respect the sanity and the basic dignity of their employees. Also true. My advice to Delta, they won't see this video, but I think this is just common sense. In fact, I'll put the picture here just to make it worse. Do nothing. Say no comment. Or don't respond back to any websites, any media outlets. I'm sure all the major news outlets have got a hold of them. They have a PR department like every other major corporation. Just don't answer them back. Your silence would be deafening. This employee should not be reprimanded. Are people actually, are trans, are having difficulties? I can't really go into detail, like I said, because this website won't allow it. Yes, they are. But people like this are grifters. They are grifters, and Mulvaney has made millions off of this. A former theater, Broadway wannabe, so to speak, took theater in college, and that's fine. That's what you want to do. God bless you. But these people are grifters and narcissists, and those two are a really bad combination. So if Delta does nothing, hats off to them. And I also want to say anybody that sees that Delta did not fire or reprimand or give the wishy-washy apology, if they don't do any of those things, they should be rewarded. Start people you know that fly Delta, or look up phone numbers for Delta in their PR department and get a dozen of your friends. Get 4 or 5 of your friends that tell 4 or 5 other people that tell 4 or 5 other people to call Delta and say, you know what? I fly your airline once in a while, or I thought about it. I'm definitely going to now. We have to acknowledge the fact that these corporations just can't run from the progressives, people that are going to cancel their company and do horrible things when they do the right thing. This guy was being obnoxious. Oh, look at this girl, whatever you want to say, that way you're not misgendered, was being obnoxious. And the employee handled it perfectly. He kept his calm, he kept his cool, he kept his voice down. I don't think his blood pressure went up 1 point. And good for you, young man. Should make Employee of the Month of that airport. What do you guys think? And until next time, God bless, goodbye, and good luck.